Now we have seen autotrophic. Now let's move further for heterotrophic nutrition. As the name itself suggests, the organisms will be dependent on some other organism for their nutrition. There are three different types that are, first one is saprotrophic, parasitic and holozoic. Saprotrophic, the examples are fungi and yeast, which will be growing or dependent on dead and decaying matter. Parasitic, examples are fungi and bacteria. They are also dependent on parasite or host. They will be depending on the host. Coronavirus is the best example which we can give for parasitic mode of nutrition. In holozoic, example amoeba and human beings. As a whole food, they are going to take the food inside and they will be digesting it. There are two different, that is nutrition in amoeba and nutrition in human beings. We are going to study in this topic. Nutrition in amoeba. There are 4 stages in the nutrition in amoeba, that is ingestion, digestion, assimilation and egestion. As we know, amoeba is a single-celled organism which will be present inside the water, which is microscopic, which is going to take the food inside by ingestion by the false, that is called as pseudopodia, the false legs, which we call it as pseudopodia, which is going to engulf the food inside and the food vacuole is formed, that is there only it is digested and assimilation is done and egestion will be done inside the single cell. You need to practice this diagram of engulfing the food inside, how the digestion takes place inside the amoeba with the help of pseudopodia. These are called as pseudopodia, which are finger-like structures which are coming out of the single-celled organism to engulf this food inside. Now let us move further for nutrition in humans. We can just take 2 parts in the nutrition of human beings, that is alimentary canal and digestive glands. We can study it very easily then. Alimentary canal, it involves pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. These are the parts of our digestive system, a tube-like structure. In digestive glands, which we can observe here as salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas. Salivary glands secrete saliva, gastric glands secrete gastric juice, liver secretes bile juice, pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. We are going to see in detail about this. Before that, let us go further how the structure of an human alimentary canal. We can just, I have already drawn and labeled the part. We can just go in detail about it now, which are the parts involved in the alimentary canal. The alimentary canal starts from the mouth and a tube-like structure ends at the anus. Mouth, which is having teeth inside, tongue along with the salivary gland. The tube-like structure goes down, called as esophagus. Then a T-shaped tube, a bulged balloon-like structure called as stomach. Stomach further moves into a intestine, which is called as small intestine, which is 22 feet long. This in turn turns into a large intestine and then turns into rectum, and the last part is called as anus. Here you can see the liver, a gland which is associated with digestive system, and there is a structure called as diaphragm which divides abdominal cavity into 2 so that the respiratory system and the digestive system can be divided. We will see the structure of and the function of it. Here you can see the pancreatic gland, which is situated below the stomach, which will be secreting the pancreatic juice. Let us see when the food comes inside the mouth, how the digestive process takes place in the alimentary canal. Nutrition in humans starts by the digestion of the food through the mouth. Mouth is a cavity where through the food is placed with the help of teeth it is chewed. Saliva is secreted by the salivary glands inside the oral cavity. The breaking down of the food is done by the enzymes. Salivary gland contains salivary amylase enzyme, which salivary amylase converts starch into sugar. Starch is a complex food chain with many sugar molecules. So starch is broken down into smaller units called as sugar. This food mixed thoroughly with the saliva and moved by around the mouth by the muscular tongue. It forms an bolus-like structure around a bolus-like structure, and it is necessary that bolus should move further through the regulated manner along with the digestive tube. So this bolus move further to the stomach with the rhythmic contraction called as peristaltic movement. This is the way from how through the mouth it reaches to the stomach. Here salivary glands are involved, which secrete salivary amylase as an enzyme. So food mixed with saliva with the salivary amylase, where starch is converted into sugar and food is mixed with water, and teeth chew it properly and makes it in a semi-solid fluid-like structure, a paste which will be further converted into bolus, and with the rhythmic contraction called as peristaltic movement through the esophagus. Through this esophagus, it comes down with the movement, rhythmic contraction and relaxation like this. It will be contracting, relaxing, like this. Peristaltic movement takes place, and that it comes to the stomach.